Oh man, you got to go back to we talking about some times. Like if we really want to talk, first of all, what's up? What's up, guys? But don't forget to like, share, subscribe. My Cash App is Carcino if you want to donate to the page. Don't forget to join my Patreon, which is Carcino for Life. And yeah, let's get into it, man. Can't really picture which year this was, but it was very interesting to us because we came from different eras altogether, but our hip hop worlds are completely different from today's modern hip hop. So it's weird to me when they had these podcast shows and guys who are not from this era, but they love the music and they really don't understand, what's going on, what happened in situations, and they just digress completely from their history, their knowledge, and just go off, just the salaciousness of it and make that the focal point of everything that they do. Like it's always like, oh, this person is they're doing this, they got a blue hat on, or they went and bought a new car, they went and bought a Bugatti. Nothing really about the music, nothing really about what the artist is. Now, back in those days, you had to you had to have rhymes. And if you didn't have rhymes, you were classified as a certain type of rapper. You were not put in a position where you were going to be somebody that was looked at in that category. You were automatically put in a box. Now, during this time, like there was a going back and forth with LL Cool J and EPMD. Like they've told that story. Now, the problem with EPMD and LL, it was mostly PMD. It was mostly a bravado thing. And when LL went and did the Rampage feature and all of these things, and they had the LL like look-alike on the video set. It was, all the Rampage stuff. They tell you about the making of that song. Now, neither one of them was like, we gonna put hands on each other. No, it was never like that. But it was mostly a competitive type of thing, a vibe, right? Because like I told you, it was about rhymes and lyrics. And when LL, did that and dropped that verse on the album, it like put everybody on notice. Like, oh, LL ain't playing around. Like he's lacing it. He ain't doing none of this stuff no more that we thought the super soft, and so when this was going on, when Mama Said Knock You Out came out, and don't call it a comeback. From that, it was on. Redman, who everybody was awaiting his second CD to drop and be released. Redman comes out and just said some things in a song that got a lot of attention because people said, whoa. Because at this time, LL is the biggest thing in the world again. So now LL's the biggest thing in the world. And now that he's the biggest thing in the world, Redman makes a song called Basical. And he says, why is it every time that a multi-platinum artist always use the underground to make a comeback? Is it fair to the hardcore Negroes that rap, that don't give a F about the radio plus the next chick at that, and being hardcore and mad about wearing high-tech boots and black scully hats and making fake-ass frowns because your best buddy packs? Think about it. Now, that's how the song ends. Redman and LL was always cool because they was all on Def Jam. This prompted a reshuffling of the deck with Redman. Uh, at this point, EPMD had split up. Then it was Redman doing his thing over here. He was with Eric Sermon over in working on his album Def Squad, and they started doing their whole thing there. But LL Cool J and Redman wasn't too tight after that. LL heard it. L was just in his okay. So he thinks it's funny. So this came back around when they never really met up until like years later after that. And when they met up, it was a whole different type of vibe because it was brought up and Redman apologized for making that record and saying that. He was like, Red was like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I was hot. I was so hot, I don't even remember saying that. G. Cause he was like, LL is one of my favorites. That's like that's the homie. But they really didn't become bros until they did like the Monstars or whatever that song is. Bring out the Monstars. Roll, little, roll, little, roll. That's like when they became brothers. They became brothers back then. So, and he said it, man. I probably was just taking up for Eric, EPMD, and I probably said it like I don't even remember. This is why he says he was like, I don't really remember that album or making it. I was so high. At that time, he was smoking chocolate tie and all that, and he was out his mind high. when he made that album, and he just went through a period in time where he was just fried, like every day, fried out of his mind. So making that album, he was like, I don't even remember like what I was saying. But he's like, when I rhyme, I don't perform none of those songs from that album. And Can't Wait is my jam though. That was the only song that he had that could be a radio hit. Nothing on that album is all one tone. It's just all bass. And it's just like some people love this album to death. Some people cannot stand this album. And Redman is happens to be one of the artists that doesn't like his own album. So let that sink in. But no, they met up, cool. It was nothing. It was nothing that came after it. But yeah, it was a thing at the time. So, in case you didn't know that piece of hip hop history, um, yeah, that actually happened. But no, he apologized to LL for that, and L didn't even give a damn about it at that time. No way. But yeah, they knew. So it wasn't like the song was a smash hit, but we all remembered the line. And once he said that, when you say a multi-platinum artist, who else could you be talking about? When there is no multi-platinum artist, right? But LL Cool J at that time. So no. No, nobody fit that description. So anyway, I'm out. Love, peace, and hair grease. Don't forget Patreons. Everybody, we might release this early on the Patreon and then later for YouTube. So if you see it, the Patreons get it first. You know what time it is. So we out.